Series 12 of Doctor Who produced many good things, not least some amazing new villains, or at least new takes on classic villains. From Sacha Dhawan's Master to the interesting new group of villainous Time Lords known as the Division. All of these villains served as new, unique takes on classic favourites, and the Cybermen were no exception to that rule, introducing several new designs and a new form of Cyberman in the form of the Cybermasters. The Cybermen proved to be an amazing adversary in the 12th series, but there was one Cyberman which stood out from the rest, in the form of Ashad, also known as the Lone Cyberman. Unfortunately, in the Series 12 finale, The Timeless Children, he was killed by the Master using his tissue compression eliminator, which was a real shame, seeing as he was a great villain. It would have been great to see him as a sort of Davros of the Cybermen. However, today I put forward a theory that he isn't actually dead and will return sometime in the future. So, we saw him die. Literally die. He was shrunk before our very eyes. So how is he still alive? Well, the outlier in this scenario, the main evidence I have for him still being alive, is the Cyberium, the silvery swirl of all Cybermen knowledge. And unless that Cybermen knowledge is seriously incomplete, it would have several bits of knowledge on the Master, and would almost certainly know that the Master cannot be trusted at all. Like, even in the classic series, the Master cannot be trusted with Cybermen. Surely the Cyberium would know that. But why would the Cyberium tell Ashad to give it up to the Master? Well, the Cyberium has knowledge of the Master and knows the Master cannot be trusted. It also knows that they probably can't win against the Master, and the Master will take control and kill the lone Cyberman eventually. But, as Lonely Lad says,
"It will not leave me while I live."
Unless we haven't been paying attention to the episodes or watching the episodes, we happen to know that not to be the case. The first time we see the Cyberium used or taken away from somebody is in The Haunting of Villa Diodati, where it's taken away from Percy Shelley by the Doctor, and the Doctor has to use an old Gallifreyan mind trick to trick Percy Shelley's mind into thinking that he has died, which then releases the Cyberium, and the Doctor takes it for herself, which stays consistent with the "it will not leave me unless I'm dead" rule that we have been looking at up to this point. However, when the lone Cyberman threatens to bring his ship into the Earth's atmosphere and consequently destroy the Earth in the process, the Doctor releases the Cyberium from herself into the lone Cyberman. But she doesn't do any weird Gallifreyan mind bending on herself, she just lets it freely leave her. Now, you could argue that she is doing some weird Gallifreyan mind bending on herself to help herself release the Cyberium, but if she is, I thought we would have probably got some indication of that, so I'm assuming, at least now, this isn't the case. Which shows that you do not have to be dead to release the Cyberium. Which means when the lone Cyberman says, "it will not release me whilst I live," plain old lying to make the Master believe that he is indeed dead. The Cyberium would probably know that the Doctor would probably stop the Master, and by releasing it to him, and he is supposedly dying, that they can go back and reclaim it for themselves at some point in the future. However, this could just be a sort of continuity error in all things considered, because the Chibnall era hasn't been top-notch and tight with continuity, whereas in Series 11 you have the Doctor saying she loves a conspiracy one episode and hates it the next episode. Could be a similar situation with this, so this could be likely, but it could also just be a continuity mistake. We don't know for certain unless something happens of it. The other bit of evidence I want to bring up is the fact that the lone Cyberman is killed with the tissue compression eliminator, and it's in the name, tissue compression. When the lone Cyberman is shrunk by the Master, all of him shrinks, the organic part and the metal part. Whereas it should only be the organic part that shrinks when he's hit with a tissue compression eliminator because it compresses tissue. Last time I checked, metal wouldn't be counted as part of the tissue compression eliminator process, meaning that it's only the organic parts that should shrink. This could mean that the person or thing that shrinks isn't actually the lone Cyberman and could be some sort of robot which is programmed to shrink to make it look like he's died, so the Master gets Cyberium but believes him to be dead whilst he can get away and start planning again. Possibly, but then again, if you look at the history of the tissue compression eliminator and even the use in that series, you'll see that the whole tissue compression part of it isn't that consistent. In the classic series and in series 12, when people are killed with the tissue compression eliminator, they shrink, so do their clothes. And unless I've missed some sort of scientific discovery, last time I checked, clothes aren't living tissue, so should in theory not shrink as well. This is probably just a stylistic choice to show the death of the lone Cyberman, but could also be a deliberate thing put in there. And the sort of final bit of evidence, but not really, is the fact that Chibnall seemed to bring back all the elements that people liked from Series 11, whilst also listening to the bits people didn't like and attempting to improve upon them. A criticism people have is the fact that Lone Cyberman died, so in Series 13 he could look at that and bring back the Lone Cyberman. And that's really all the evidence I have for it. Also, alternatively, they could explain his coming back after his death the way they explained Davros coming back after his death. They don't. But overall, I'd say this would be cool if it did. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the official Cyberman Alf YouTube channel. Also, just want to drop this bit in here. Thank you so much for 150 subscribers. My channel has been gaining quite a lot of subscribers recently, so thank you very much. I've been Cyberman Alf. But from me for now, it's goodbye.